What's up guys, this is Alan from TerraCycling, and today I'm going to show you how to turn any bag you have into a pannier that you can mount on your bike.
Now the first step to making your own bike pannier is choosing the type of bag that you're going to put on your bike. If it's going to be on the left side, that's not facing the derailleur, it doesn't really matter how long it goes down. But another thing you have to take into account is where the pedals land while you're pedaling. So in this case, this bag right here leaves just enough room for the derailleur on the bottom and pedaling to happen around on the other side. So make sure that this doesn't get covered up. As a temporary feature for now, I have a carabiner on here to help pull up the bottom end of the bag, making sure that the weight is evenly distributed throughout the bag.
Here's another shot where you can see the derailleur has plenty of space below, and on the right there's plenty of space for pedaling. So once you have a bag that meets your standards, we're going to look at the parts that we're going to need to actually build this pannier. Here we have rubber J-hooks. Each of them come at $3.60 a piece, or you can get 4 of them for 2 bike panniers for $14.40. Shipping costs may vary, but for me it was about $2.50, which isn't really much. You can find these rubber J-hooks at bencycle.com, which will be linked in the description down below. The next thing you're going to need to make your panniers are 2 cap screws and 2 hex nuts. I also found this 1.5 inch wide aluminum flat bar that's 1/8 inch thick that worked perfectly for having the J-hooks clamp onto the strap of the bag that I wanted to use. Remember to keep in mind the width of your straps on your bag, because that'll determine how long the cap screw that you use should be. For me, 16mm was enough. These parts can probably be found at your local hardware store. Now we can get into the garage and start the build. You can either use an angle grinder or a hacksaw to cut rectangles out of the flat bar to fit the straps of your bag. Because this is my second set of panniers, I already have these cuts pre-made. We now take the rectangle pieces and file down the sides that we made the cuts on to make them smooth. Take this time to also file down the corners and bevel the sides if you feel like it. You can also take time to file off any stickers that might be on the bar as well. Repeat these steps for the other rectangles as well. In the next step, we're going to take 320 sandpaper and sand down the faces of the rectangles so that way we can apply some spray paint on them later. Here we want to mainly focus on the faces, but we are also going to make sure that the edges that we filed are also smooth. Once we're done sanding, we're going to mark where the hole should be cut on the metal rectangles. To do this, we're just going to take a marker and plot the holes using the J-hook, all the while making sure it's as centered as possible. Next, we're going to drill out the holes that we just marked. And yeah, my drill bits are pretty old, so they don't drill very well. This is literally how long it took me to drill into one of these. Now to drill 7 more. Here we have an example of what it would look like. And now we get back to drilling the rest. Once we have the holes drilled, we can sand off the faces again to get off anything that might have been left on the piece. As an optional step, you can choose to paint these guys, which I did in order to match the bag that I chose.
I forgot to show this part, but this is the soldering iron I used to melt the fabric to make the holes for the screws. And this is a throwaway soldering iron, just one that I had lying around from Radio Shack.
The reason I use the soldering iron to melt holes in the bag is because the bag handles are made of polyester, which will melt because it's a synthetic fabric. I recommend examining the material that you guys are working with so that way you know whether you want to cut a hole or burn it. Installation is pretty easy. You just take the strap and you sandwich it between the J-hook and the 2 metal rectangle pieces that we made. Then apply the hex nut at the end. Make sure to do this on both sides. Once everything's tightened, then you're ready to start carrying things by bike. What kind of things do you want to carry by bike? And where do you want to go with them? Let me know in the comments down below. If you found this helpful, please like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.